It's Mark Wiens here, and I am in Ayutthaya, Thailand, which is about an hour outside of Bangkok. Ayutthaya is very famous for temples and history, but what I come here for is the gigantic, monster-sized freshwater prawns, which Ayutthaya is very well known for. Fresh off the grill, brought them to our table. I actually can hardly even explain my excitement. They're just like oozing with juices and look absolutely insanely amazing. Ayutthaya, the ancient Thai capital, is surrounded by rivers. A restaurant owner told me that years ago, freshwater prawns were so plentiful that they were actually considered a low-class food. Today, they're more of an expensive delicacy and a treat. There are a few different ways to eat them, but the easiest is to just slice them in half and grill them shell down with no seasoning. I think freshwater prawns are some of the most amazing things to eat in the world. And if you ever visit Ayutthaya, you should not miss an opportunity to feast. I'm sitting out kind of on a floating dining room and floating on tires and barrels. And so the atmosphere is beautiful. The water is nice and peaceful, but the food is even more beautiful. Okay, so these are 3 prawns per kilo, meaning that each prawn is 333.3 grams, if that doesn't really matter. But anyways, these are gigantic, and you can just see that oil. It's like orange and yellow butter inside the head of these prawns. They're just sliced in half and then grilled on the bottom side. I'm gonna go with this guy first and just, look at that oil. I'm gonna scoop it out with my spoon. Oh, this is like, it's like gravy. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is just an entire tablespoon of shrimp head, oil, and butter. Oh, that's ridiculous. That was an entire spoonful of like the creamiest, butteriest, like melted butter with a roasted shrimp flavor. That's insane. Okay, the body next. Oh, he's so meaty. I think this could be the biggest freshwater shrimp I have ever eaten in my life. Oh. Okay, well, that's actually all I need for a first bite, I guess. I'm gonna dip into this this chili sauce. Give it a little dip in there. He definitely did not overcook them, so they're nice and moist and juicy and tender as well. That bite of shrimp oil, shrimp butter, followed by the shrimp flesh was that my mouth is just rejoicing right now. Oh, I'll pull out this guy. Just look at that piece of freshwater shrimp prawn. I'm gonna give this guy a big dip. Maybe even coat him in sauce. Along with these jumbo, monster-sized prawns, I also got the something called gam gung pacha. And what that is the freshwater prawns have giant, I guess they're like kind of legs or tentacles, and kind of like crab legs. But so they de-shell those legs, and then they've stir-fried it up with wild ginger finger root. It's called finger root, and what else? There are some peppercorns in there, garlic, maybe some basil. I'm just a huge fan of finger root. It's similar to ginger, but it kind of has I guess it has more of an even earthier flavor. than ginger, and I think it goes great with those peppercorns as well as those little bits of shrimp, which are actually pretty good size for them just coming from the tentacles of the shrimp. It's so herbaceous. It's like it tastes like a wild like country dish. For vegetable, I got pad sai bua, which is lotus stems, stir fried up with some carrots and garlic, and oh, it's a little sticky, but these things are really good. I love the texture of them. Oh, some juice just a bit down, and some juice just squirted down my chin. Oh, I love the texture of those lotus stems. They're kind of chewy, but kind of very crisp at the same time. I think it would almost be like celery, like stalks of celery that have been slightly blanched, except a bit softer. I am going to try to scrape that head juice and oil and mix it with a bite of body, and then add some sauce on top of that. Scrape out a bite. Oh man, I'm like a little kid right now. Oh, okay. If you combine some of the oil with some of the body, and so you got that bite of, it's a little bit fleshy, but then you've got that oil like a gravy sauce, like a butter sauce on top of it. That is unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. I think everything is delicious, but I have to give it up for the highlight of the meal, the trophy. The roasted freshwater prawns are absolutely insane. The pad cha was also very good. The shrimp tentacles stir fried with finger root. I love that dish as well. But these prawns. If you ever come to Ayutthaya, you have got to go to a restaurant to try some of their roasted prawns, because they are absolutely insanely good. And the environment and the atmosphere could not be better either. I'm just almost like in shock of how good they were right now.